Welcome to the greatest podcast in sports betting entertainment. My name is Tanner Kern, certified G, bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is G Money Grant Mitchell. We're giving you our best 5 spread picks for the weekend. We're talking about Monday Night Football, and we're also talking about how the legend of Patrick Mahomes is dead. And you can't teach that. Bada boom, man. The people in the room. G Money Grant Mitchell, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Tanner, and it might not just be Mahomes. If we're looking at the big four, 3 of the 4, I think the legend is kind of over, and then Joe Burrow just got back, so we'll see what happens to him.
So you can't say the big 4. Like Lamar and Josh are not the big 4. I don't care about MVPs. I care about Super Bowls. Neither of those guys can win big games. So
they were, though. When we talked about the big 4, it was Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, and Allen.
The big 4, like right now. Like Mahomes is part of the big 4 of NFL history. Like yes. Mahomes and Allen are not part of the big 4 of NFL history. But yeah, like the best 4 quarterbacks in the league. Burrow's that guy. I'll say that. Burrow is cool, calm, and collected. Like nobody's better than Burrow. But I will go to like Mahomes right now. Yesterday, watching that Thanksgiving Day game, I live bet the Chiefs like multiple times. Like they're gonna win. They're gonna win. Even when they're down 10, they're gonna win. Like this is the same spot they were in last week against the Colts. They're gonna win. And they just don't win. How many times this season have we been in a spot where we said Mahomes is going to go win the game and he just doesn't do it anymore? It's weird. Like that allure is wearing off. He's no longer in the Tom Brady conversation. They're going to miss the playoffs. The Chiefs are done.
Okay, he's totally in the Tom Brady conversation because he's had a much better start to his career than Tom Brady has. But
no,
yes, he has.
You can't miss the playoffs at 29.
Tom Brady missed the playoffs.
You can't miss the playoffs at 29 years old and expect to, in the prime of your career, after getting blown out in the Super Bowl, and expect to be in the same conversation. He's not going to have as many rings as Brady. It's not going to happen. There's no chance.
That's a crazy thing to say because Brady had 3 rings through 13 or 14 years of his career.
Okay.
It wasn't until right at the end that he picked it back up. So don't judge Mahomes. Like the same thing could happen.
Do you think Mahomes is going to be as great as Tom Brady was late in his career? Probably not, especially not what we're seeing right now.
Okay. On one hand, it's just unlikely. On the other, with every passing year, players do better later into their careers. So, like, by the time Mahomes is 40 years old, it might be normal for guys to be playing that long.
Brady also beat him. Like the GOAT conversations, though, like he's not the GOAT. If he misses the playoffs this year and he doesn't come back with a vengeance next year, he's not the GOAT anymore. There's just no way.
That's such a dumb thing to say.
Losing to the Jaguars, losing to the Cowboys.
Mahomes is better in every single category than Brady at this point. He has the same amount of Super Bowls, more MVPs, more first-team All-Pros. What do you want?
He's not going to be as good as Tom Brady. It's just not going to happen. It's okay. It's okay to be second. But Mahomes is trash. And he had a really good game yesterday, but he's trash. The defense is trash. And the reason Mahomes, I think, has been so good over his career is because the defense has put him in positions to go out and win games, and he's just great. You know, we saw the plays he made yesterday. He's great. But the defense has put him in positions to be great, and now the defense not putting him in positions to be. You need a defense, Grant. What are you making that face for? You need
the Chiefs had one of the worst defenses in the whole NFL for like the first 3 years of Mahomes' starting career.
Go back to the last 3-year run. The defense has put them in.
Recently, it's been better. Yes,
the defense has put him in positions to get the ball back with 2 minutes. Like I go back to yesterday, end of the game. Like there was the defense. In past years is not having 3 pass interference calls or 2, whatever it was down the stretch. Yeah. They're going to give Mahomes a chance to go down and get 3, whether it's with 30 seconds left, no timeouts, a minute left, and he could go do it because he's Mahomes. But the defense is failing him right now. I mean, he had a good game. He threw 4 touchdowns yesterday.
Yeah, it's just funny because the big 4, like, even if one of those guys, Burrow misses the year with an injury, Lamar doesn't show up that year, Allen loses a big game, like back when Josh was turning the ball over all the time. Like, one of them might fall off a little bit, but you always knew who the big 4 was. This year, if you knew nothing about the NFL, and I told you there was a big 4, and you had to name it, if you just started watching football, you'd probably be thinking, okay, well, it's Matt Stafford, it's Dak Prescott, it's Drake Maye, and it's Sam Darnold or Jordan Love. Like the big 4, none of them have been up in that echelon they're normally at.
I mean, Jordan Love looked good yesterday, but Jordan Love is usually very inconsistent. Like Sam Darnold, like he can't be in the big four with some of the games as he's had this year. He's had some really good games. He's had some terrible games. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, Drake May is the best quarterback in the NFL. It's simple as that. Drake May is coming to take over the NFL. Stafford's almost done. He's ready for a retirement home. Drake May is going to be the authority in the NFL moving forward.
A lot of New England bias early in the show.
Yeah, because you said it on this morning. What you said. So yeah, they suck. They let me down yesterday. What was the other game? Lions aren't good. They're going to miss the playoffs too. Jared Goff, terrible. You don't give him any time, he can't throw.
Yeah, I'd said on when we record Tuesday. On Tuesday, I was liking all of the underdogs against the spread, and that worked out like a charm for me. That Packers game, though, and we were talking about this before we started recording, there was intrigue with that Chiefs-Colts game the entire time. It looked like the Ravens, you just kind of thought the Ravens were going to find the rhythm, and they didn't. From the opening moments of the Packers game, you're like, oh, the Lions, they're not winning this game.
Yeah, I agree with that. I felt like the Chiefs were going to come back and win. I felt like the Ravens were going to come back and win. I thought both those teams were going to turn on at some point. They just weren't able to do it. And it was really because the defense, don't get me wrong, Lamar was terrible, but the defense couldn't get stops in those games where the first one, it's like opening drive, Packers are better. Simple as that.
Yeah. And that's what we saw in week one too, which I agree with what we've been saying this entire year, that week one did kind of like overvalue the Packers, because I still don't think the Packers are legitimate Super Bowl contenders. I do think they are better than the Lions, though.
Yes, I agree with that. And I mean, the Lions, losing Amon-Ra St. Brown hurt. I don't think he makes a difference yesterday, but losing him hurt. Your offensive line is letting you down right now. Dan Campbell's not a good play caller. And his fourth down calls are so dumb. You're down 10, go down 3. Like, what are you doing? Like, I get it. You don't think you can get a stop. You don't. I understand that. But you got to at least give yourself a chance, because if you don't get this, you have no chance in the game. Your win probability goes from probably 60% to 0. If you get it, it's probably like 80% or 70%. So it's just bad coaching. He's a bad coach. Dan Campbell is not a good coach. I will say that time and time again. He is not a good coach.
I think he's got his ups and downs. In-game management's probably his biggest weakness.
He shouldn't be calling plays either. The offense has looked actually worse since he started calling plays, I feel like.
So he started calling. So the Commanders game hardly even counts because it's the Commanders. The Eagles, they scored 9 points. They put up 34 on the Giants. That game was more about their defense because they were chasing it. And then this Packers game, I think you could still put that on the defense too, though. But Jared Goff has not looked really comfortable recently.
He needs like time. And don't get me, he didn't have a ton of time, but Mahomes can do something without a ton of time. You know, Lamar can do things without a ton of time. Same Burrow. Burrow gets rid of the ball quick. Like Jared he's not really good. There's a lot of bad football yesterday.
That's what I've been saying for a long time. Like when we did our top 10 quarterbacks entering the season, and I didn't have Goff in my top 10, that's what I've say. Like that's why, Eagles fans hate hearing this too. Jalen Hurts can do a great job for what he's asked to do. That doesn't mean he is doing a terrific job of being an elite quarterback. Like when you're set up with the best talent in the NFL and your job is just play on time, don't do anything stupid, it's a lot easier for you to look better. But then when you have to step up in these moments and it doesn't happen, it's like, okay, well, this is why I feel this way about you.
Jalen's going to step up today, though. That's going to be the one. That'll be the one favorite that wins out of these 4 on Thursday and Friday.
Well, it's a good transition. Let's go. Let's talk about the top 5 picks. Tanner and I are here to deliver to you guys our top 5 picks for this NFL weekend. We had a breakdown on all the Thanksgiving games. We're now going to get into the Sunday games and maybe a little look at a Black Friday game as well. But before we do, Tanner, we do got to plug WSN.com.
The World Sports Network, the best sports network, guys. Get your picks, your promo codes, articles on there. We got write-ups for pretty much every NFL game. We're going to have some write-ups for college football bowl games, the playoffs coming up. That's going to be exciting. And then also the NBA, which Grant is doing a lot of there. So make sure you guys check that out. And also subscribe to the podcast, Ride the Line. We are here every Tuesday, every Friday, getting after it. We're posting clips throughout the week. So make sure you guys lock in. Talking a lot of NFL right now. Probably do a little college football when we get to the playoffs and then get into the the NBA and all that good stuff, college basketball as well. So make sure you guys subscribe to the show. And Grant, I will let you take it away with the first spread pick.
The top 5 spread bets of the upcoming NFL weekend. I'm feeling confident. Got a 3-0 start. Took all underdogs on Thanksgiving. Celebrated the holidays the right way. And so let's roll that over. And before we get to the big Sunday slate, I am going to keep it on Friday, Black Friday specifically. So one reason to hit that subscribe button if you guys have not already. This video is coming out Friday morning, so it's a short window. You got to make sure you're tuned in here. So make sure you do hit that subscribe button. But I will go to the Eagles Bears, and I'm going to take the Eagles -7. I'll lay the touchdown with them. I think this is going to be an annihilation, a castration. I think this is going to be everything nasty that you can possibly think of. I think that's what the Eagles are going to do to the Bears. Now, without trying to get too nerdy here, if you look at DVOA, which is one of the best overall measures of a team, the Bears are the worst 8-3 team in NFL history. I'm not taking away from what they've done because the Ben Johnson effect has been noticeable. Caleb Williams has improved in certain areas. They definitely have an identity, so they have done good things. But when I just tell you this team is 8-3, and you would probably think, okay, well, we're talking about the Colts, we're talking about the Chargers, you run through a list of teams in your head, the Bears have not played up to that standard you would normally assign to an 8-3 team. On the other side, you have the Eagles, who it's actually kind of the inverse. Like they're also sitting there at 8-3, but you feel like they've had such a disappointing season. Well, they still found ways to win games while looking bad. And I don't think there's going to be more motivation for them than having just lost to the Cowboys when they were up 21-0. I think they'll be able to take some of those good moments that help them race out to that 21-0 lead, just avoid a historic collapse. You're back at home in front of your fans. This is a time. It's a standalone game. This is a time where you go out there, say, hey, AJ Brown, guess what? You got your numbers last week. You just sit on the side. You catch one ball for 4 yards. We're going to win this thing on the back of our defense, and they will cover the spread.
I think they're going to be throwing the ball a little bit in this game, too. I think you got to keep AJ Brown fed. You got to keep him locked in. And this is the team to do it against. I mean, the Bears are going to give up yards. They're going to give up points. And you look at the list, just running through the teams that they've beaten so far this year. Cowboys, before the Cowboys were this version of the Cowboys, barely beat the Raiders, barely beat the Commanders, beat the Saints, beat the Bengals without Joe Burrow, beat the Giants. Without Jaxson Dart there, and then Vikings and Steelers. So really don't have a quality win yet. This will be a big win for them. I don't think they get it. So I agree with you, Grant.
All right, let's go to your first one.
I got to go Tampa Bay Buccaneers -2.5 here. We don't know if Baker Mayfield is going to play. With that being said, even if Teddy Bridgewater is under center, I still believe the Buccaneers are going to win this game because you're going to get Bucky Irving back in the lineup. And you talk about a must-win game for Tampa Bay. This is a must-win. I mean, you've lost 3 in a row, 3 good teams. You expected probably to drop those games if you're looking at the schedule at the beginning of the season. And my biggest issue has been the defense with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And when you look at the Arizona Cardinals, Jacoby Brissett, while he has been solid as a backup, I believe it's like 11 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He has not turned the ball over a ton. I don't think they're going to be able to outscore you in this game. Cardinals defense is a decent unit there. But whether it's Teddy Bridgewater, whether it's Baker Mayfield here, Bucs are going to lean on their guys. You got Bucky Irving. You got Emeka Egbuka. And when Teddy Bridgewater came in last week, he actually looked pretty good. So confident no matter what. If Baker Mayfield's named the starter in this game, you're probably going to see this line jump up to 3 and potentially 3.5. Just must win at home for the Buccaneers. But I think this spot where they come out, they control the game defensively, they step up because they're finally not going to be overmatched on the defensive side of the ball. And I think that's going to lead to a big win for them.
Yeah, I'm with you. So you know this, and if the people watching this don't know this, I do pick every single game against the spread. It's over there posted at WSN.com. These are my favorites, but I did end up picking the Bucs at -2.5 for a lot of the reasons you laid out. The return of Bucky Irving, I think, is going to be a big deal here. I actually don't think the Cardinals defense is that good. And when you look at Jacoby Brissett, he's been able to put up numbers, but it hasn't translated to tons of points, tons of wins. And also the Bucs, even though the pass defense is very suspect, they can shut down the run and at least make the Cardinals one-dimensional. And so they might give up the big plays, but if they're one-dimensional, they're throwing it, you can get your pass rushers on the field. Maybe you trade a big play for a sack and you can win like that.
It's a pride game. You know, we look at the Eagles today, how they're going to come out. You look at the Buccaneers coming off getting just scorched by Matthew Stafford on Sunday Night Football. What are you going to do? Your back's against the wall now. Now you got to win. You get the Panthers right on your tail. You're lucky the Panthers lost to the 49ers. You got to go. So we'll see what happens here, but I do like the Bucs to get it done.
So for my second pick, I'm going to take the San Francisco 49ers -6 against the Browns. I will go ahead and spoil this, that I have a lot of favorites after I took all underdogs on Thanksgiving. And I was making my card and I went back, looked at it because I picked like 7 or 8 favorites in a row. I was like, man, this is weird. And then I realized I picked 3 favorites to open the week. I had some favorites late in the week as well. So it's kind of like when you take a test in school. I put C 5 times in a row. It's got to be different now. It's kind of how I felt. But anyway, 49ers -6 against the Cleveland Browns. Congratulations to Shedeur Sanders. First career start, first career win. That being said, his best moment was a 66-yard touchdown pass to Dylan Sampson that he threw 2 to 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He had the one big play where he was scrambling and he horked it like 50 yards to someone, I forget who. But other than that, he really did not show much. I think the best thing he did was he was only sacked 1 time, which is my biggest concern with sure going to the NFL. But still, I don't think this team has much offensive talent or ability at all right now. Meanwhile, the 49ers, I get it, Brock Purdy did just throw 3 interceptions in 1 half, but the 49ers still won that game. They still covered the line. They can run the ball really well with CMC. George Kittle looks good. You got Juwan Jennings and guys there. Brock Purdy, again, probably not going to be that bad. I get it, the Browns defense is great, but realistically, this is a 1 score and you can cover this line sort of game. This is a 17-10, you cover. This is a 10-3 and you cover. And I feel like something like that could be in play.
I also have this on my card. First off, I think Shedeur is the cockiest human being in the league for not doing anything. Gabriel sucks and Shedeur is not very good. Like I would take Shedeur over Gabriel. Did you see the interview after the game with the Browns where he's like, this is just after 1 week. Give me a full off season. Dude, what the frick you doing, man? Like, I think the 49ers are going to be licking their chops this weekend to face Shedeur Sanders. And again, we're probably going to have a few of the same plays here just because we don't have a ton of games now with 4 already off the board. But I do think that the 49ers offensively, minus what Brock Purdy did last week, are clicking. Give the ball to Christian McCaffrey. He is indestructible right now. Offense is starting to come along. George Kittle being back has helped them a lot. Defensively, they're playing better than they should be with all the injuries that they have. And, Myles Garrett's going to get what he gets in this game, obviously, but I just don't see them putting enough points up to cover this number.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about it. And I took the Browns to beat, who is it? The Raiders. I took the Browns to beat the Raiders last week, but that's I gotta be honest here. There's just a total mismatch in talent here. Like you said, the fact the 49ers defense is playing pretty well too definitely makes me confident in them here.
Definitely. So Grant, you want to go with your third now?
Yeah, I can go with my third one here. I said I was taking a lot of favorites. I'll take the Atlanta Falcons -2.5 against the New York Jets. So I get it that Michael Penix Jr. is not going to be playing in this game, but I took the Falcons last week as underdogs, and I said, who cares? I mean, Kirk Cousins is one of the most equipped backups that you're going to get in the NFL, just as far as starting level experience. You look at this game, he's going against Tyrod Taylor, who's also a mid-30s backup. I would rather have Cousins than Taylor right now. Drake London, doubtful to play this game, sure, but as good as Breece Hall is, Bijan Robinson is better. I would rather have the Falcons' offensive line. I'd rather have Kyle Pitts than whoever the Jets are throwing the football to. I'd rather have the Falcons' defense than the Jets' defense. So the Jets have been competitive in different points of the season, like they played. Yeah, they beat the Bengals, obviously. They played the Broncos to a 2-point game. But this is a game, we talk about this all the time with these 2.5-point spreads here. It's rare that you win a game and you don't cover a 2.5-point line. And the Falcons are just simply better than the Jets are. So home field advantage means very, very little in this game. Falcons, in my opinion, probably going to force a turnover to interceptions off Tyrod, however it works out, and they'll be able to win this game.
I like it. I didn't have it on my card, but that's the side that I would be going with just because I simply don't trust the Jets. So I think it's good play. Again, it feels too easy. I don't know, even though all the injuries are there. The Jets can definitely compete. I think we saw this kind of line when they played against, who was it? Was it the Browns that they won against? Yeah.
The Jets, yeah.
when it flipped. I feel like that's kind of the same situation if the Jets were able to win this game, but we'll see. I do agree though. I would take the Falcons. Falcons just so inconsistent too.
And that win by the Jets was so improbable, and I'm still pissed because that was like week 11 or week 12, and I had taken the Browns as my survivor pick that week, and I lost on it. But the Jets scored back-to-back special teams touchdowns. That was still a game where Justin Fields had like 40 yards. They should not have won that game. It was just the most improbable victory ever. So really their one win this season is that 39-38 game against the Bengals.
All right, Grant. So transition into is this my third pick here? Yeah, my third pick. We're rolling today. Give me the Houston Texans plus 3.5 at the Indianapolis Colts here.
Okay.
Are you on this one at all? Are you on the other side?
It's not on my card, no.
So I look at the Texans here, coming off huge win over the Buffalo Bills, got the mini bye week because they played on Thursday night. Coming to this game against division opponent Indianapolis Colts. Colts 6-0 at home, 8-3 overall. They've been fantastic. Coming off that loss to the Chiefs, we'll see how they respond there. But what Houston did on defense against the Buffalo Bills made me look at them a little differently. CJ Stroud, while he has not been fantastic this season by any means, he doesn't have to be great to win. Obviously, if he even plays in this game, he's questionable. But Davis Mills has been just as good. Like the quarterback situation is kind of washed whoever plays for them. Their defense is good enough for me to be on their side here. You guys shut down Jonathan Taylor. If you do that, Daniel Jones has kind of come back to earth a little bit. Not saying he played bad against the Chiefs. He just couldn't make that big play against the Chiefs. And this defense for the Houston Texans is just simply built different. So if they're able to limit Jonathan Taylor on the ground, obviously you're not going to shut him down. Puts you in a very good position to find a way to win and cover in this game. And the Texans are very much alive in the playoff hunt now, especially with the Chiefs losing again. Like this is a team that can make a little run here if they can move to 7-5.
I think this is one of the toughest games to call this entire week. So I'll be honest. So when I picked this game, which was back on Tuesday, I think I did take the Colts at -4.5. However, now that we have the report that Daniel Jones has a broken fibula that he's playing through, I don't know if you saw the video of him like limping around, but that doesn't look right. CJ Stroud potentially coming back. The way the results have played out, like you said, the Chiefs losing, the Texans now being back alive for a playoff spot. I'm staying far away from this game because you're right. Davis Mills has played at about a CJ Stroud level or so. But what I always say with backup quarterbacks is the good ones come in for a game or two. You don't notice the difference, and then they fall off. Well, Davis Mills is a backup quarterback. So is this the game that fall off happens? Well, I mean, Colts can generate pressure. Sauce Gardner's back there now that could cause problems for him, or maybe just continues to do what he has done ever since he got to play. So this is very 50-50 for me. I will be staying away and enjoying the game.
Nice. Well, it's hard to enjoy a game without money on it. So nice, but I will not be. Anyways, Grant, transition to your fourth pick here.
Yeah, number 4, I'll take the Jacksonville Jaguars -6, -6.5. Lines been moving around against the Tennessee Titans here. Now, I'll address the elephant in the room. Trevor Lawrence looks terrible. He looks flat out horrible and I get there's been injuries to Brian Thomas Jr. I get there's been injuries to Travis Hunter. He looked terrible with them there as well. And with them so aggressively trading up to get Hunter, with Liam Cohen coming in, I was fully expecting this. I was expecting the Jags to have a top 7 offense or so in the NFL, and it's been pretty awful. It's actually been their defense that has saved them, whereas we thought they might have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. So I've had to completely rewire my feelings about this team. But I say all that to say that I get it. Cam Ward has made some really nice throws. Still, they have not been competitive in the vast majority of these games. The Jaguars are better literally everywhere on the field, and as bad as Trevor Lawrence has been, if he doesn't turn the ball over multiple times, like I'll give him an interception, say, hey, screw it. I'm factoring in a red zone interception here. Just don't throw 2 of them. He's still going to do a better job than Cam Ward is. Again, the Titans here, you want to talk about them not being competitive. You look at their recent results, and they did just cover, but they had to come back to do that. So they lose by 6 to the Seahawks, lose by 3 to the Texans, 7 to the Chargers, 24 to the Colts, 18 to the Patriots, 10 to the Raiders. They had their 1 win of the season, lose by 26 to the Colts, 26 to the Texans, 21 to the Colts. They're just not a competitive football team here. And the Jags are playing for something. You talked about the Texans getting better, challenging for a playoff spot. The Colts obviously are the leaders, but the Jags are only one game behind. So I think they're coming to this game with a sense of inspiration, feeling like they can't afford a loss here.
Yeah, they're just so hard to bet on. Very up and down. A lot of teams in the NFL this year are so up and down that it makes it hard to put your money on them. Again, Jags are a better team. Like that's the bottom line. I think the Titans, Will Levis, bring back Will Levis. Honestly, at this point, I think Cam Moore is not as good as Will.
Now, I'll give Cam a break because the Titans team is just so bad overall. Cam's not been great, but he has made those throws. Like, this is kind of what I saw with Drake Maye last year. And Drake Maye was better than Cam Ward, but Drake Maye was also still making a bunch of crazy mistakes, missing wide open guys. And it's like, I see him making the throws. Just wait, see if they get a better talent around him, better coach around him, see what happens. That's where I'm at with Cam Ward.
I'm a Will Levis guy. So
you are a Will Levis guy.
I'll be rooting for Will.
I was a Drake Maye guy long before you. Don't forget that.
I think that was the case for most of Patriots fans. Like, I don't think a lot of Patriots fans were happy about Drake Maye, especially after week 1. I think people thought he was trash. And then he just comes back and rips off win after win. They're going to have we'll talk about the Patriots later, but they're going to have a very short playoff run, I think. I don't think it's going to last too long. But you ready, Grant? You ready for my next pick?
Yeah, number 4. What you got?
It's electric here. This could be the play of the weekend. Rams versus the Panthers here. I look at the Rams. They just beat the living crap out of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I do think, are significantly better than the Panthers. The biggest difference in this game, the Rams have to travel to Carolina before the Bucs had to travel to LA. So a little different spot for them, Sunday Night Football. But this is like served on a silver platter for the Rams to cover in this game. They have been beating people into submission this season, 4-1 on the road, 9-2 overall. You beat the Buccaneers 34-7. You beat a division opponent in the Seahawks 21-19. That game, they could easily lost that, but you were still up big early, couldn't put teams away. Beat the 49ers 42-26. You beat the Saints 34-10. You beat the Jags 35-7. You beat the Ravens 17-3. So you've basically covered this number in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 of your past 6 games. And now you're going against a Panthers team where didn't look good against the 49ers, who you're also significantly better than. You don't know what you're going to get out of Bryce Young. But when Bryce Young has these comebacks, when he's the fourth quarter king, which he does have a lot of comebacks in his career, it's because the other team puts them in a position to be able to come back. If the Rams just come out and play football, play their level of football defensively, offensively, there is no way the Panthers can hang with them at all in this game. So I would also look for a first half spread here. That could definitely be a good number too. If like 5.5, 6.5.
First half spread's a good one there. Yeah, this didn't make my top 5 picks, but I did end up taking the Rams when I made my picks for every game. If Matthew Stafford wasn't the quarterback, even if the Rams had the 10th best quarterback in the NFL and everything else was even, I've seen Bryce Young's been very up and down, but still the team has been consistent enough that I would say this is a really big number at home. I would take the points. I would take the Panthers. It's the fact that Stafford's at that MVP level. Like, you are expecting a minimum of 250 yards, 3 touchdowns every week. That's the decider for me in this one. And I agree with you. I would take the Rams.
Yeah, definitely take the Rams here. Okay, Grant, number 5 for you.
My 5th and final one, and this is going to be the only underdog that I'm going to share for my top 5 picks. And it's a weird one. We're going a little rogue. I'm taking the Raiders at plus 9.5 against the Chargers. Now, I don't think they're going to win, but I do believe the new coach bounce is going to happen here. Because when you hear there were things coming out about Chip Kelly, the fact that he's messing up play calls when he's sending them into Geno Smith, when he's calling plays that weren't in the installs for the week, they weren't in the game plan. This isn't as simple as this guy didn't get along with the other players. Oh, they're going to be happy that he's gone. No, this is literally like he was sabotaging his own team. He was handicapping his own team. So if we can just get the correct play calls out onto the field, I get it. The Raiders have looked terrible as well, but I'll be honest, hearing something like this makes me look at this offensive line this entire year, which has been dreadful, playing at like a middle school level. And I start to think maybe I can understand just a little bit how this is happening. Maybe nobody has any idea what they're actually doing, because there's no way the Raiders are drawing things up how they're playing out on the field. And I just can't see a way in which this change gets any worse. Geno leads the league in interceptions. Genty is a generational back, averaging 3.5 yards per carry. The Raiders defense is legitimately average. They can do their part to stay competitive. So if they can just continue to do that and we get any sort of improvement, it doesn't even have to be opening up an explosive passing game. It just has to be, Geno, throw 1 interception instead of 2. Genty average 4.5 instead of 3.5 yards per carry. Just any minor improvement, I think the Raiders can be competitive.
Well, I don't like the Chargers either. Like, I hate Justin Herbert. Genuinely despise the man. So I'm all for it. I think he's terrible.
Yeah, you're not a Justin Herbert guy.
Well, he hasn't done anything. Like we act like he's done something. Josh Allen and Lamar have barely done anything when it comes to winning big games, and we put Justin Herbert in the same kind of category as them.
It is funny how within the last 3 to 4 or 5 years or so, we've not been as critical with certain players. Like right now, there's a conversation going around in the NBA. Like someone, I wish I could remember who. Someone said that they thought Nikola Jokic should be in contention for the best player ever. And it's like in an era where you grow up criticizing Kobe for winning 3 rings, but Shaq was with him, for criticizing LeBron. Like we've nitpicked so hard for so long. And now the NFL equivalent is obviously Justin Herbert, who's never won a playoff game. And you're right. He does get grouped. He gets grouped in that when you were trying to make a top 5 entering the year, you had the big 4. And then the question was, okay, is it Jayden Daniels coming off last year? Is it Matthew Stafford? Is it Jalen Hurts? Or is it Justin Herbert? And we've completely failed to critique him the way that we have other great players as well.
Yeah, no, he has not done anything. Like that's the bottom line there. But anyways, Grant, for my 5th pick here, big one coming up. Your Commanders, Sunday Night Football. I'm going to go against your Commanders because they're a terrible football team. Whether Jayden Daniels plays or not, like it does not matter. He's not. I saw him listed as questionable. But whether he plays or not, it does not matter. Like you don't need an explanation for this game. The Broncos should come in and absolutely rail the Washington Commanders. Like it should not even be close. If they keep it close, I will be shocked. I think Broncos defense, one of the best. Jayden Daniels, he's not playing, whatever. Marcus Mariota is going to fail against him very easily. Going to get dominated. Are they coming off a bye too?
Both teams are.
So the international game was the last. You guys don't even have a damn kicker. You don't even have a man who can kick the ball.
We have Jake Moody.
So you cut Matt Gay?
Yeah.
All right, good, because he's terrible. So you're just not. You can't play with the Broncos. In no world should the Broncos not come in and win this game by 10+. And if they don't, it's a big win for the Commanders, honestly, to keep this one close. Denver needs to, Denver's probably in the best situation to get the 1 seed right now in the AFC. Looking at the remaining schedule, I don't think it's the Patriots. I think it's the Broncos. This is the game that you have to knock down and win. I would love to see the Commanders win this game. I would love to be wrong, but I don't think it's going to happen. This is the slam dunk play of the week for me.
Yeah, I've been totally wrong about my team this entire season, so I'm not going to tell you if I agree or disagree with you because it really means very little.
What do you think, though? I want to hear.
Well, I mean, what I would say is that so the Commanders switched. Dan Quinn became the defensive coordinator going into the international game, and the defense looked a lot better. But it's also the Dolphins, so who really cares? You're not really learning anything coming out of that. The fact that it is a bye week, if there is going to be an improvement with DQ as the defensive coordinator, it's going to happen in that bye week. So do you see that this week? That's honestly not even the biggest thing for me, though. The biggest thing for me is we've seen games where the Broncos, Sean Payton's like, yeah, I know we're going to win this game. Defensively, whatever, we're gonna nickel and dime our way down the field. So I don't need to score 20 points because I know we're going to win. That is like the only thing that I would give me some pause here to not go with the Broncos. I still like I can't see a world in which the Commanders win. But it's that where Sean Payton is fine winning by 3 points because he trusts his defense enough to do it. So that's what I'd be worried about.
You are right about that. Like, I will give you that. I go back to the game against the Jets when it was in the international game and it was 7-point spread. And like, how did the Jets even play with them? I don't know. The Broncos weren't necessarily the Broncos that they are now at that point. But there are those games where he doesn't need to score at all. And he feels his defense can win and they just go out and do it. So this could be that game. Do you think the Commanders, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rank the Commanders' chance of winning this game at?
2, 1.5.
Nice. Well, the dogs did win. I think if the Eagles lose today, the Commanders will win this game because all the dogs are going to win this weekend.
You think it's just the week of the dog?
Yeah, the week of the dog. The Eagles are going to end that today, but if they don't, your Commanders will win.
You ready to go to Monday Night Football?
Monday Night Football. You bring us into it.
Well, it's the final game of Thanksgiving week. We got the New York Giants taking on the New England Patriots. Two teams, the famous book, Tale of Two Cities. This is a tale of two NFL teams. Patriots, 9-game winning streak. Giants, 6-game losing streak. One team headed for the Super Bowl. One team headed for the first pick in the draft. That is the matchup that we get. Now, this should be competitive because we do have Jaxson Dart returning to the lineup. So we love seeing Jameis Winston on the field. We absolutely do. He took the Detroit Lions to overtime, but Dart showed a lot when he was out there on the field. Missed the last 2 weeks with a concussion, but now you got the Patriots as 7-point favorites at home, taking on the G-Men in primetime. Tanner, how do you see this one playing out?
I think the Giants are better with Jameis Winston at quarterback than Jaxson Dart at this point right now.
Listen, we have said for years Jameis should be a starter in the NFL for somebody.
Yeah, he's definitely starter worthy, and he's a great backup too. Like, he's a great, the mindset, the guidance, leadership. He's a great backup. I think when I look at this game, I want to say the Patriots are going to win and cover. I don't know if they're going to. The Giants defensively are okay, obviously, and then offensively, we know they can put up some points. They don't have a ton of weapons right now outside of Jaxson Dart. But I think this is a really tough start for Jaxson Dart to walk into because you're on the road against the number one team in the AFC. Drake Maye is playing at an MVP level. They're going to put up points. You're going to have to put up points. And the one game where I really look at Jaxson Dart and I say he was that quarterback capable of coming out winning this game was the Eagles one, where the Eagles just said, we're not going to play football today, because that obviously was not the Eagles defense. I think this spot where the Patriots win and cover. I really do.
So one thing with the Patriots that we've been saying probably for the last month or so, going back to the Buccaneers game, is there's just got to be a certain level of mental exhaustion. And the slip up, we've said it's coming for a long time, and it hasn't happened. When they haven't played many good teams, but when they have, they've beaten them. And the majority of the time they play the bad teams, they just annihilate them. They beat the Bengals. I guess the Bengals by 6 isn't an annihilation, but they beat the Jets by 13. They beat the Broncos or the Buccaneers on the road. They beat the Browns by 19. They beat the Titans by 18. They beat the Bills. They beat the Panthers by 29. They've just been dominating these teams during this recent win streak. So I still have that concern that the slip up is going to happen eventually. And hey, prime time against a rookie who's made a lot of plays, that's probably like the all-time place for it to happen. Also, the fact that it's a 7.5-point line changes things a little bit for me. If you get this at 7, I think it's a lot easier to bet the Patriots versus 7.5, because the Patriots could be winning by 14 for the whole game, and then Jaxson Dart, goes down and scores a touchdown with 2 minutes left, and the Giants are able to cover.
You're always going to get a good live line too. Like, if you see 7.5, just wait. And it's hard to do that because you want to come out and get a bet. Like, obviously, even last night, like with the Bengals were right away, like after even scoring a field goal, they were still plus 7.5. Then the Ravens go down, score, they're up 4 with the ball, or the Bengals have the ball, and you're getting the Bengals for like plus 11.5. So like, if you just wait a little bit, chances are you're going to find a good line for one side or the other. If Patriots come out and just rail them right away, you're not going to get the good line. But if the Giants go down to even get the ball inside the Patriots 50, the 7.5 probably dips down to 7. So just be cognizant of that. But I'm going to take Patriots, Grant. I like the Patriots. They're ready to go.
Well, I'm going to give you a player prop from a Patriots player, the guy who is second in MVP odds right now. I do have a Drake Maye prop. I'm going to take him under 0.5 interceptions. Now, he has thrown exactly one interception in 4 of his last 5 games. So that might scare some people off. Not me. The New York Giants have forced the 5th fewest interceptions per game. They're 28th in interception percentage as far as what's the percentage of plays or pass plays that they force an interception. Pat's favored by a touchdown for a reason. They are a much better team. The Giants are the worst run. They have the worst run defense in the NFL. So look for the Patriots to pound the rock first and foremost. Use that to set up play action, which means I don't think Maye's throwing the ball a bunch in this game. When he does, I think it's going to be a lot of very easy, open looks. And I think the Giants are going to be chasing this game to a certain extent. And whether that means they're down a touchdown and they're trying to bring it back to a tie game and then they're down a touchdown again, whether it's they're down 14, they're trying to get the backdoor cover, I just think they're going to be behind. And I don't expect the Patriots to really go pedal to the metal here.
I like it. I think that's a good idea. I don't think the Patriots are going to have to do a whole lot in this game. I think on the flip side, my prop here, Jaxson Dart's going to have to do a lot in this game. So I'll take him over 205.5 passing yards. Has not been super consistent with this number so far this season, hitting 2 of his past 5 games, coming out against the Bears on the 9th, and his last start was 19-29, 242. And he averaged 8.3 yards per completion. Going back to the Denver game, 15-33, 283, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, averaged 8.6 yards per completion. So it seems when he's in that 8-yard range per completion, he's going to be close to this number. Patriots defense has been solid, forcing turnovers. They've been solid late in games. They tend to struggle early on. So I think there's going to be an opportunity for Jaxson Dart to get what's his early in the game. Patriots are giving up 213 passing yards per game. So that is higher than the number that Jaxson Dart has. And I think the Giants are going to be playing from behind here. Obviously, you don't want to kill your rookie quarterback if things get really hard for him, if he's not getting a ton of protection, all that. You're just going to try to get him to the next week. But it's a spot where I think you're going to let Jaxson Dart rip it a little bit.
TreVeyon Henderson, anytime touchdown score, the most juiced odds on the book, but even still only about minus 120. And that's without line shopping. Always do your line shopping. People might get an even better price than that. He's officially the starting running back. That's all there is to it. He recorded at least 14 carries in 4 straight games, scored 5 touchdowns during that stretch, one of those coming as a receiver. Just like I said, the Giants have the worst run defense in the NFL. They're either last or second to last in yards per attempt allowed, dead last in EPA per rush, and success rate against the run. They also give up the 3rd most points per game. So literally everything, bad run defense, bad scoring defense. The volume is there. He gets the looks at the goal line. He can catch it. He can run it. TreVeyon Henderson, he's going to get, it might not happen this year, but maybe next year, maybe the year after that, we're going to start to hit that point where it's like this guy's minus 150, minus 160, basically every game. And I feel like there is an advantage with the odds here.
I like it. I mean, he's becoming that guy. It's no longer Ramondre Stevenson. So I think TreVeyon Henderson's the perfect bet here for a touchdown. Grant, I got to pull up some numbers here, and I want to see how many times the Patriots have allowed an opening drive touchdown this season, because it's a lot.
I mean, that's a lot of research that you're going to be trying to do here on the fly.
No, I just type it in. 6 opening drive touchdowns in 11 games. It's called AI. It's ChatGPT.
Okay, there you go.
Program. 6 opening drive touchdowns, 11 games so far this season. I'm not saying the Giants are going to have an opening drive touchdown, but we brought it up last night we brought it up for the game last night on the last podcast. Remember what I said, take the Bengals to have a field goal or take the Bengals to have a touchdown in the opening drive.
I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that.
I'm going to do the same exact thing right here. Same exact thing. Pay Giants to have a touchdown or a field goal attempt on the opening drive, plus 350, plus 340. Hopefully they get the ball first. Chances are if they do that, they're going to be on the 35-yard line going out. You don't need much to happen here. My one fear is the fact that Jaxson Dart is in a situation where, first start, you're going to run the ball twice and then do a screen just to get him comfortable again. That would be my one issue with this play. But for plus 350, plus 340, considering the Patriots have given up 6 opening drive touchdowns. And if you go back to the Titans game, like against Cam Ward, they didn't allow an opening drive touchdown. It was an opening drive field goal, I believe. Like they give up points on the first drive. Good spot for the Giants here.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Nice.
Do you have more props you want to get into?
Touchdown score. I'll give you one more here. I like Stephon Diggs plus 110. Diggs has been money this season, especially since having a baby. Diggs is just a different beast with my girl Cardi B.
Yeah.
Diggs 3 touchdowns only so far this season. Has not scored in his past 2 games, but look who he scores against: Browns, Falcons, Buccaneers. I think this defense for the New York Giants is going to give up some points here. I think when they've obviously been dominating teams, and this is a spot where they should be able to dominate. You're going to try to get the ball to Diggs, get a touchdown late in the game, have some fun there. So plus 110, I think it's worth taking.
And Diggs likes being there. Everybody likes Diggs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think so. Don't get me wrong. If he wasn't getting the ball, he's a diva, but there's no reason to be a diva right now. Like, George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb are both diva, more so George Pickens. George Pickens is, would you call CeeDee Lamb a diva? Not really. No.
Not maybe compared to a linebacker, but compared to other receivers, no.
George Pickens is taking his helmet off. Like, what did you saw that yesterday? Taking his helmet off on the field?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Do you know why he did that?
Just to celebrate.
Oh, I couldn't tell if he like was concussed or something.
No, just to celebrate. But like, if the diva receivers have no reason to complain, there's no reason to it makes sense. Like, if diva receivers have no reason to complain, they're not going to complain. George Pickens having a good time right now. He's not going to complain. Stephon Diggs, I think he's probably at a point in his career where he's just happy being with Drake Maye, happy being in New England. They're winning football games. It's better than being in Buffalo. He's getting his touches. Like, it's all good. Now, if you didn't throw the ball to him at all and your team sucked, you might see a little bit more, but it's not, he's got no reason to complain at this point in his career. He's almost at the end of his career. Yeah,
I agree with that. Before we get out of here, just because we were talking about the Patriots, some other teams, quick check-in on Super Bowl odds. It's still the Rams as the leaders at plus 430, Eagles at 6-1. The Colts at third is crazy. Never would have thought that entering the year 10-1. Then it's the Seahawks and the Packers tied at 11-1. And then it's the Patriots, Broncos, and Bills all tied at 13-1. And then it's the Chiefs. It's the Chiefs, Ravens, Lions. It's crazy seeing them all that low.
Yeah, no, it is. It's insane right now. I don't know who's going to win the Super Bowl. You have to think it's going to be the Rams. I don't feel like it's the Eagles, but obviously they can beat the Rams on any given day. I don't really think it's the Colts. I think the Patriots are better than the Colts personally. So it's going to be an interesting time this year. And don't get it twisted. The Chiefs are still very much alive. They need to win out, and they're more than capable of doing that. But if they win out, I would make them the favorite in the AFC. I'd make the Broncos one of the favorites in the AFC too.
I can't. The quarterback. Okay. So if we're looking at the quarterbacks of the teams who are like high up on this list of Super Bowl odds, teams or guys that I can't see winning the Super Bowl: Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Bo Nix, Jared Goff, if you want me to be honest. And then I mean that's it for the team high up on the board.
I don't think you can say that because Goff's been to the Super Bowl. In the right situation, Goff can win the Super Bowl.
He went to the Super Bowl with like the most favorable situation ever, with one of the highest scoring teams ever, and they scored 3 points.
He was the quarterback of that team.
That's my point. He got to the Super Bowl and scored 3 points.
Well, going against Bill Belichick.
I'm being honest. I think it's the same with all of these guys. I think they would get to the big game and they would crap their pants.
So the Chiefs' current playoff probability, 38%. They are 6-6. If the Texans were to go to 7-5, that would be pretty devastating for the Chiefs. The Ravens should get in with the division berth there. But the Chiefs really got to win out, I would think. Like, they can't afford to lose one more game.
Yeah, I don't think so because they don't have tiebreakers.
So the Chiefs right now are 6-5?
6-6.
6-6. So you beat the Texans on December 7th, Sunday Night Football. You go 7-6. You're going to beat the Chargers.
The Chiefs play the Texans shortly?
Yeah, next game.
Oh, that's a huge game.
That's Sunday Night Football. So it's
that might decide who makes the playoffs.
Yeah, because right now didn't the Texans beat the Chiefs earlier in the year?
No, they're not division rivals. They wouldn't have played.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, but they have the Texans had a tiebreaker or something because of. I heard that.
The Texans are 5-2 against the conference, and the Chiefs are 3-4.
AFC South. I had a brain fart there, but so Chiefs would beat the Texans, so that would be. Then they would go to 7-6. You beat the Chargers 8-6. You're going to beat the Titans 9-6. You're going to beat the Broncos 10-6, and you're going to beat the Raiders 11-6. I can't imagine they don't get in at 11-6. Can you?
At 11-6, they'd be in. At 10-7, I think they're out.
It's probably 50-50 at 10-7, but 11-6, they got to be in.
Yeah, I would have to check to see if a team has been 11-6 and missed the playoffs in this new 7-team format.
I'll tell you what, it's not a bad bet. Chiefs get in. It's not a bad bet.
Do you have the odds on that?
-122.
To make it?
Yeah.
That's not enough for me.
It was -115 yesterday. It jumped up.
Everybody's trying to get ahead of the trend.
If you had to take them to make it or miss it, what would you rather take?
I would rather take make it, but doesn't mean I'm going to.
Make it for -122 or miss it for +100. I'd take make it because there's still, if you lose one more game, you have a chance.
Yeah, I would rather take make it, but I'm not going to because I'm not confident in it.
You got to lose 2 games to be eliminated fully.
It could happen. Yeah, they're not very good. They're 500.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. It could definitely happen. But it's still Mahomes. I can't get over that. It's still Patty. So we'll see. He's not the GOAT, though. Tom Brady is the GOAT.
All right.
Anyways, Grant, why don't you take us out of here? Let's ride the line.
Guys, that was Ride the Line. Tanner and I appreciate you all joining us for this episode. Make sure that you do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you are new around here as well. Go to the comment section, let us know your thoughts and everything we said here, and check out WSN.com where we do have promo codes for all the big sports books, picks, stuff like that. We will catch you all in the next episode of Ride the Line.